So, anyway, I was scrolling Instagram and I saw that Gerald Butler's apparently going to be playing God of War, or I mean, playing in God of War as Kratos. The other cast ideas were apparently going to be Batista or Jason Momoa as Kratos. I'm just happy it's not Vin Diesel. I would say Tom Hardy would be a good Kratos, but I think he'd really make a much better Boulder. Plus, Tom Hardy's kind of short, but there's always CGI or whatever. I also really didn't want to like the idea of The Rock as Kratos, but then I saw the fan art. It looks pretty good, but I don't like The Rock's movies, mostly because he makes dumb jokes about his biceps in most of them. And yeah, but if this was maybe Kratos based on like the latest game where he's in the Viking mythology and everything, and he doesn't talk much, and The Rock would grow up and just listen to a director, it might not be that bad. I mean, if he was only given 5 lines and just saying like a few things, that wouldn't be that bad. But it's The Rock, and he ruins everything. But anyway, let's get into this. Like, also important to remember that this is Ghost of Sparta Kratos from the original PS2 era. So super testosterone, listens to Papa Roach, yells at his mom in 2000s era slang, doesn't know what a touchscreen is. His controller still has to be plugged in to the console era Kratos. And he wasn't the most well-written character. He was kind of just like hyper-masculine God of War, I guess. So that was, and I'm not sure how well that would fly today with like, today's political climate and everything. So they might just do a different take on it, like most movies do when they get a game character and they put her onto the big screen. They're going to obviously tweak and change. Maybe they find a good equilibrium of the modern Kratos from the latest God of War and the Ghost of Sparta Kratos. So they can obviously put a lot of emotion in him being covered in the ashes of his loved ones and all that. But we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, we'll see. Everything's hearsay. I did read one article. I can't remember what website it's from, damn. But it does seem like the director and the writing team isn't going to be that bad. I think the director was the showrunner for Daredevil and did something else. Damn, I forget. Anyway, I can't remember what website it was, so I can't remember the exact quote, so this doesn't count as plagiarism. Anyway, I think Gerald Butler is confirmed for the role as well, but at the time of recording this, I'm unsure. So, yeah, time will tell. Anyway, my main problem is he doesn't really have the build, and I'm not sure how tall he is, but Kratos is a god, so it's safe to assume Kratos is like on the taller side. That's why I don't want to say it, but that's why The Rock wouldn't have made the worst option. Actually, Jason Momoa either, just like a buff, taller guy, Triple H. Anyway, it's just weird. Like when I heard Joe about it, I was like, what? Isn't he kind of fat now as well? But I guess it's CGI and all that. But I don't know. I'm having a lot of problems with it. I honestly think, straight up, they shouldn't even make a God of War movie or series or anything. I just don't like the idea of it. I just know they won't be able to do it well because when you make a game a movie, it takes away a lot of what made the game good. Like unnecessary changes to characters' appearance and motives and other things. And also what makes the game fun is the gameplay. And I know a lot of movies about games, they'll have references to the game's gameplay mechanics, like, I don't know, the BFG and the Doom movie, for example. But like, anyway, just, it could be good, it could be flashy. I'm being very on the fence about this, because I don't know how to feel about this. I want to be excited for this, but I just don't think I've ever been excited for a movie based on a video game, like, ever. And for quick reasoning, my reason is just look at the Monster Hunter World movie the other week, whenever it came out, I forget. But anyway, they either poorly copy the story most of the time or needlessly change things that made the story pretty important. Like I said, it seems like it's in good hands for the God of War movie. Like, They did say they're gonna take the whole Ghost of Sparta thing, and I don't think it wasn't really the Ghost of Sparta story. Like, if I am correct, it wasn't that in depth. Like, they give you a quick rundown of what happens to Kratos' family and everything, and then it's a game. Then it's a video game. So they throw you. Sorry, South African here. They throw you into the gameplay, and you just go and tap square, button mash, quick time event combo your way through the game. And it's just, you must just remember, oh yeah, Kratos' family is dead, and he's angry about that. So I guess in a movie, they can focus a bit more on the tragedy that is a father losing his family. So there's actually there's a good story there that they can change from the game because it wasn't focused on. Obviously, the latest God of War in 2018, they did focus on story a lot of the time, like Atreus and Kratos and all that. But like a lot of the time, they just, like in general with games into movies, they just take a concept from the game and sort of put it into a generic action movie plot with, like, you know, the just generic tropes like explosions and okay, I'm having a bad time thinking of an example now, but you're all smart enough to know what I'm talking about. Also, killing whatever made the franchise unique or good is like a big issue with most of it. Like, quick example again. So I'm gonna bludgeon Monster Hunter World in this. I just know it, but like just putting the U.S. military in Monster Hunter World, like really, and they go through a portal. I think, like, what the fuck? Just like Monster Hunter World has its world. Just can't they just do that? But anyway, there hasn't been anything really like a God of War, movie similar. Like, don't say Thor. Do not say Thor, because that's completely different. Because he's basically just a superhero anyway. I don't know how often they do this when they make a movie about a game, but they should definitely try to keep as much of the writing team and creators and directors as possible, at least as advisors for the other directors and writing team who are making the movie. Because maybe I'm not saying I know much about what goes into the process, but I assume writing a movie and a game are similar but different at the same time, because the director has to, like, direct gameplay as well, I suppose. But anyway, they should definitely work as a unit and have the lifeblood that made the game and got the initial fan base. Keep that and just try to help them make a movie out of it. After all, like I said, that's the reason the game is a success and they're making a movie about it, is because the initial writing staff and director got the movie to be successful. It is them that did it. They should be the ones to make or help the transfer of it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys. Another thing that always happens is age ratings are lowered. Like, I know for a fact the Tomb Raider movie, for example, Tomb Raider's an 18 game. Lara gets, like, almost assaulted in it, to say the least, in the first game. That sounds insensitive, but, like, it was done while she looked strong, she killed the guy and everything. But anyway, Tomb Raider's movie was, however, 13, I believe. So anyway, like, it's a violent game that appealed to everyone, appealed to millions, did really well. Game of the Year, I believe, as well. Damn, I don't do too much research, sorry. But, like, anyway, just like, then they put it into a movie that's a generic action movie, essentially, has some licensing that will get some casual people to watch it. I don't know how well it did, but I only got like 10 minutes in. And I know they changed a lot of things. Like, they got the premise, but they just didn't have the entertainment value. Like, Lara was pretty violent in the reboot of the Tomb Raider franchise. But anyway, you could, it's quick side note. You could bludgeon someone with a pickaxe, wall climbing thing, and it was bloody as hell. Blood would go on the camera and stuff. That didn't happen in the movie. That did not happen once. Like, and it was cringy. It was cringy. You can see from the first trailer that movie was cringe. Another, just like a quick idea I have, like, can't they make a really good CGI movie? Like, I don't know if any of you have seen Final Fantasy Kingsglaive, but that was a prequel to Final Fantasy 15, and the graphics were really good. And Aaron Paul was the voice actor of the main, so they got like an actual actor in it. And I think, damn, I forget his name. The dad from Game of Thrones, I think. If I'm wrong, that'll be awkward. But anyway, really good CGI movie. They can get the actual look of the characters in there. They can get the original voice actors in there. Like if they got, for example, it's quickly to Uncharted with Tom Holland being Nathan Drake. I know it's young Nathan Drake, but it's Tom Holland and that doesn't work. They could just look at Uncharted 4's graphics quickly. Like, I'll put it on screen. Beautiful. Now imagine not having to worry about game, like, console restrictions, and you just make a super good CGI Uncharted movie. You get Nolan North, you get Troy Baker, you get the rest of the original cast that everyone's come to know the voices of and their characters. No actor that kind of looks like them and does really bad cosplay of them. The actual character models in super good CGI and make a movie about that. Why must it be some actor? Why? Why does it have to be some random actor dressed up as a character I've spent hours playing as? It just kind of, it's just, is it because, I don't actually even know, like what, maybe from a marketing standpoint, it's like, hey, there's this thing that people like, for example, Uncharted. Hey, here's Mark Wahlberg as Sully for some reason, and here's Tom Holland. People like Tom Holland at the moment. He's Spider-Man as well, and let's just smack that, and then. So maybe it's just like they try to get like more people to watch, like they want the gaming fans to watch and like general moviegoer fans to watch, and they pull them together and they make a shitty movie. But then I don't think the Tomb Raider actress was known at all. I don't think she's been in anything else. I don't even know her name. But then again, in the other Tomb Raider movies, like the early 2000s ones, they had Angelina Jolie, so there you go. Another thing, if you make a CGI movie, you can keep the actual directors and writing team and just put it in there. Like, you can get Neil Druckmann to direct a Last of Us super CGI game. Movie. Sorry, I'm trying to do that. I'm doing this in kind of like one sitting right now. But anyway, you know what I mean? Like, you can just get the original director of the game and make it a movie. Another side about the Last of Us thing. The HBO series is going to follow Joel and Ellie, which is okay, but I was honestly hoping they were just going to set it in the Last of Us world, like with the Fireflies and the clickers and all that, and what happened to America after the apocalypse happened, and just follow different characters. Maybe have mention to Joel and Ellie, but it'll be interesting if that like just different characters. Why must it be the same story we've all played again? It's obviously not like, I don't feel, it just feels like it isn't catered to the actual fan base of the game. It's catered to get more people to watch. Like, let's say they get 75% of the gamers to watch it, 60% enjoy it, or 50, anyway, and then they'll get a lot of other people to watch it because they haven't played Last of Us, so they'll experience the story for the first time. I don't know, it just feels like they're trying to tap into like as many viewers as possible by doing things like this. And you just can't copy what made a game successful by putting it into a thinly written hour-and-a-half blockbuster slog. Like, it just doesn't work properly because the average game like takes 21 hours to complete. That's 21 hours of you feeling like you are the character, feeling immersed in the world and all that, and now all of a sudden it's like, here's an hour and 30 minutes. They do this quickly. Here's a quick introduction. Here's some lame references. Here's a random villain that is really shitty and is nothing like the villain that was in the game. And here's another reference to gameplay. Have you ever seen the Assassin's Creed movie? I've seen enough to know it was completely ruined. And like the worst part is that Michael Fassbender. I like Michael Fassbender. They had him as the assassin. That should have been good. But like, they just changed unnecessary things like the animus. Another thing, a game's appeal comes from gameplay, from like crafting items you need to make the game better and make your character better, like a Molotov cocktail in Last of Us or in Dead Island or any other game where you can make a Molotov, most games actually. Killing things, murdering things creatively, driving a car into things, stealthing your way through like 20% of the mission and then getting found, and now it's a big shootout, and it's chaotic and enjoyable, but it's gameplay that's making it fun. Hitting a 360 no scope in couch co-op in Call of Duty, you can't put that into a movie because games are silly in a way. Like even the most serious games, there are silly things that happen because gamers will do some really dumb things. Like just if you like a lot of games, you walk the wrong way, like something funny will happen. Kind of just like I don't know if it be animations, awkward glitches. Like have you ever spoken to an NPC and then like you pissed off another NPC and that NPC is like trying to fight you while you're in a conversation with the other one? And yes, games have great stories. Obviously, games have great stories, but a lot of what makes a story great is feeling so connected to the characters because you're either playing one or multiple of them, or you have to fight. You're fighting alongside them. You're immersed, and since you're in the forefront of the action, it has so much more impact if someone dies or gets hurt or your dog gets shot or anything like that, because it feels like it's your responsibility to protect the characters, and it's just so much more impactful than watching a generic action set piece, corny dialogue, really bad humor, and actors badly cosplaying your favorite characters that you've spent 21 hours plus playing as. Anyway, that's my rant is over, guys.